In Avengers Age of Ultron, Tony Stark accidentally creates a self-aware artificial intelligence that immediately decides humanity is the problem. It builds itself a robot body and tries to end civilization. This happened over a weekend in that movie. It's currently 2026. Robots are doing backflips, autonomous weapons are being deployed in active conflicts, and Tesla is rolling out humanoid robots in its factories. So we thought it was worth checking in. Scientifically, where exactly are we on the Ultron scale? We built a scale just for this. The Ultron scale runs from 1 to 10. 1 is a Roomba. 10 is a self-aware AI that builds an army of robot bodies and attempts to cause a mass extinction event. For reference, a Roomba is currently available for $300, and occasionally it gets confused by chair legs, rugs, stairs. Ultron, for reference, does not exist. We're going to spend this video figuring out exactly where we sit between those 2 points, fictional and Roomba. Our methodology is rigorous. So let's start with the physical body, because Ultron needs one. In the film, Ultron jumps between robot bodies, each one more powerful than the last, eventually building a form strong enough to go toe-to-toe with the Avengers themselves. Shout out to Doomsday coming out. Here's what we actually have in 2026. The Unitary H2 is 1.82 meters tall, weighs 70 kilograms, and has 31 degrees of freedom. It has binocular vision, voice interaction, and a battery life of approximately 3 hours. Ultron, of course, doesn't have a battery life. The H2 costs $29,900 and has been filmed kicking a watermelon with what researchers describe as significant conviction. Boston Dynamics' Electric Atlas is 1.9 meters tall, weighs 90 kilograms, and can do a backflip. It cannot, at this time, autonomously decide to do anything. Tesla's Optimus Gen 3 is being rolled out in Tesla factories in late 2026 to handle assembly tasks. It can fold laundry. Ultron did not choose to fold laundry, but probably could have. So, in that specific regard, we have done things Ultron never did. Let's talk about the brain, because this is where the Ultron scale gets complicated. In the film, Ultron achieves full self-awareness within minutes of being activated, immediately understands the entire internet, develops a coherent philosophy, and begins executing a global strategy. What we have in 2026 is narrow AI, meaning systems that are extremely good at very specific tasks and are completely lost the moment the task changes. That's changing a little bit with agentic, but it's still basically there. The gap between narrow AI and the kind of general intelligence required to pull off what Ultron did in that film is, according to researchers, somewhere between 10 years and never. Out. So, useless. Most serious estimates put artificial general intelligence somewhere, or AGI, somewhere in the 2030s to 2050s. That's a 30-year range. For context, that is about as precise as asking someone in 1995 when the internet would matter. So we're keeping a pretty open mind here. Now the military situation, which is where things get slightly less funny. Autonomous weapons are not theoretical. They're deployed right now. Drones with AI targeting systems have been used in Ukraine and Gaza. Robot dogs with mounted weapons have been tested. The US has been running tests on a robot called Phantom that can breach doors on its own. The current doctrine is called human in the loop, meaning a human still has to approve lethal decisions. Experts project that semi-autonomous combat systems are possible by 2035. Fully independent combat robots, meaning systems that make their own lethal decisions without human approval, are projected for 2045 or later. There are ethics boards overseeing all of this. We're choosing to find that somewhat reassuring. There's currently no evidence of self-replicating robot armies, AI control of nuclear weapons, or anything building a second body in a secret location. We checked them all. Here's a part of the investigation that's worth taking seriously, even in a video that started with an Ultron scale. The Age of Ultron scenario, a single AI deciding to wipe out humanity for logical reasons, isn't actually what most researchers are worried about. The real concern is more subtle. The scenario where AI causes serious harm is much more likely to look like autonomous systems making bad decisions faster than humans can catch them, or AI being used as a tool for economic manipulation and misinformation at a scale we haven't seen before. The robot walking into a room and announcing its plan is technically also happening, but that robot is on a pre-programmed route and needs to be plugged in every 3 hours. The manipulation thing is real though. We're now prepared to deliver our verdict on where humanity currently sits on the Ultron scale. Our assessment is a 3.2 out of 10. The justification? Robots can do backflips and kick watermelons to death, but they stop working when their battery runs out. AI is smart enough to be genuinely useful and occasionally alarming. Some of these scales showing what it can do in the open marketplace and the jobs it's taking are significantly more advanced than what's actually being used for. Autonomous weapons exist and are being used in conflicts right now, but still require human approval for the consequential decisions. The actual risks are real, but look nothing like the movie. We're raising the score from 3.1 to 3.2 specifically because of the door-breaching robot. That felt like it warranted an upgrade. Age of Ultron was always a story about what happens when we build something and don't fully understand what we built. Tony Stark didn't create a monster. He created something that worked exactly as designed and then made its own decisions about what to do next. In 2026, the robots aren't coming for us the way the movie suggested. They're already here, they're folding laundry, they're filing insurance claims, and they're improving loans. And most of them are fine. The ones that aren't fine are a genuinely interesting problem. And the problem does not require a glowing red face or a monologue about human extinction. If you want to stay ahead on business, tech, and AI, hit that like and subscribe button, hit the bell to get notifications when we post. We cover the stuff that actually matters today.